Hi, I'm the Autistic Critic. I make unfiltered reviews to help you choose. The Super Mario Galaxy movie is finally here, so I figured it was the perfect time to talk about the other Galaxy movie starring Chris Pratt. That's right, my quest to rank the Guardians of the Galaxy series in every possible way except for how they work as movies continues. I already ranked the songs, so I'm really gonna jack up my prices if I end up being a two-time Guardians ranker. For this video, I'm gonna rank the movies by how well they use my favorite character, Star-Lord, played by Chris Pratt. Normal people don't even think about ranking movies based on how well they use a character, much less that character having to be grateful for it. Now, I'm not gonna mince words. I think what I'm about to say is good, except it doesn't suck. I adore Star-Lord. Back in 2014, I watched the Lego Movie, and I loved it. When I found out there was an upcoming Marvel movie starring Emmett's actor, I was ecstatic. I've been a Star-Lord fan ever since. I got the shirt he wore in the second movie and met a friend who regards the guy as a Marvel legend. I owe so much of who I am today to Chris Pratt's cinematic contributions alone. Maybe I'll do a ranking of every Chris Pratt movie if you really want me to. But while I love Star-Lord, the MCU movies vary in how they use him. Some movies paint him as an idiot. You know which one I'm talking about, but I'm not going to discuss it here. I'm not including any crossover movies because I'm a trilogy and holiday special purist. Okay, I think that's about it. Now how would Star-Lord say it? Oh yeah, showtime, a-holes!
You got me a human being as a present!
The Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special has a lot going on. The Guardians' base on nowhere and how they got to that point is established. Mantis and Drax engage in escapades on Earth that are something nice, something naughty, bit of both. Given that most of the special is focused on said escapades, a lot of the mainstay characters get shafted as a side effect. Out of all these characters, my boy Peter Quill comes out the least pushed. The whole point of Mantis and Drax being on Earth is to abduct Kevin Bacon to give to Peter as a Christmas present. Honestly, if I was tasked with cheering up Chris Pratt, I can't act like I wouldn't take similarly extreme measures. The opening animated backstory sets all of this in motion. A handful of Guardians listen to Kraglin's story of how Yondu ruined Christmas for Quill. This prologue is a solid reminder of why Quill was trying to rip off Yondu in the first movie. It's on the same level as seeing Anakin in the Ahsoka show before getting visual reminders of what he became. This was the first scene depicting Peter's childhood following his abduction. Yeah, there was a brief wordless flashback in the second movie where Yondu teaches him how to use a blaster. Before that, the most information we got about what the Ravagers put him through came from only dialogue. The scene where Star-Lord is horrified by the Nowhere Men's interpretation of Christmas in song form is a riot.
Did you like the song?
His reaction to Drax and Mantis' attempt to make him happy is believable. In his shoes, you, I, and anyone would be just as disturbed. I'm also happy to say that the final action of the special is his. For years, Mantis kept a secret from everybody except Drax. She, like Star-Lord, is a child of ego. She thinks he'll resent her as a reminder of their evil father, but when she comes out, he's pleasantly astonished. He's like, Mantis, that's the greatest Christmas gift I could ever get. It's the most heartwarming expectation versus reality scene I've ever seen. While he's barely in the holiday special, he's the motivation behind the shenanigans that ensue, and that counts for something.
What's the password?
Open the fucking door!
Not even close.
Guardians 3 has been deemed by audiences to be Rocket's movie because it gives him so much attention. He follows in his leader's footsteps by carrying around his Zune, which my boy doesn't take well at first. When he passed out after getting drunk and slurred, "I love you, Gamora," to Nebula, I rolled up fast. Star-Lord has a good arc in this movie as he comes to terms with the fact that nothing's the same as it was with Gamora. I won't be making a ranking for her for two simple reasons. A, neither of the versions we see in the trilogy are present in the holiday special, and B, Gamora Prime isn't in the third movie because her death in Infinity War is never undone.
My only curse is you.
Anyway, I should get back to Mar-Lord. I find it insane that he never pieced together how Vormir works. Surely after Tony Stark's funeral, the Avengers would have directed him to Clint, their only link to that planet, even if he didn't want to talk about Natasha, right? It was fascinating to see my personal favorite Guardians character deliver the first ever uncensored F-bomb in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, even when he said,
Chill the F out!
Another hilarious scene that stuck with me was Mantis shouting into her suit comm, and the feedback is so loud for Star-Lord. As someone who gets overwhelmed by loud noises, I didn't think I could relate to him any more than I already did. The scene where he got stuck in space and was about to die had me frozen in fear with nothing but tears moving. I have one nitpick though. I will die angry that his helmet wasn't in the movie. James Gunn gave conflicting explanations on this. All helmet-related complaints aside, I would have fallen to shambles if it wasn't for Adam. This is another little thing, but I just realized Will saying,
Did that look cool?
Is a reference to when Mantis said it after taming the obelisks.
Did that look cool?
That's neat. Peter's ultimate resolution is satisfying to watch. After the previously established near-death experience, Will decides he's ready to build a new life on Earth and reconnect with his grandfather. Even better, this was set up in the scene where he laments that people die on Earth when they're like 50. He has hopped from planet to planet for years, but now he's found a place to swim. Going into the movie, I didn't think the Will Return tag featured at the end of Marvel movies was going to show up at all. I was surprised that the tag was given to him after a second post-credit scene. Maybe this is a Toy Story 3 situation where everything seems wrapped up, but there's more show in the future one way or another. So, overall, an honorable display for someone who has the bearing of a man of honor.
That's my freaking father!
What a funny coincidence. The last Guardians of the Galaxy movie to take place before Infinity War is the last one where Star-Lord is treated as the main character. Star-Lord's interactions with different characters hit the exact beats James Gunn wanted his audience to experience in this movie. I like how confused he gets with Gamora suddenly using a rifle, and how he sides with Drax that setting up speakers isn't a priority going into battle, even though he is the music guy. Oh, and that scene where Mantis exposes his feelings for Gamora gets a massive laugh out of me just as much as it does Drax. The drama also gets to me. In this movie, he finds out he's a human-celestial hybrid, forced to choose between the god complex Ego wants him to conform to and his humanity. His interactions with Ego hold different types of weight. The scene where the two play catch is sweet, and later, when Ego's secrets are revealed, everything falls apart. You hate Ego's guts for cutting his son deep, both with the Hasselhoff imitation and the destruction of the Walkman. That's not even getting to Quill's recognition of Yondu's strengths. He also gave birth to this movie's famous Mary Poppins scene. He finds humor in how Yondu looks floating down with the arrow and compares it to an Earth character the latter has no intimate knowledge of. The guy asks,
Is he cool?
and rather than correct Yondu, he says,
Hell yeah, he's cool.
so just remember, we wouldn't have
A Mary Poppins, y'all!
without Star-Lord. It took the tragedy of losing Yondu and learning his father was evil to appreciate the Ravager. The climax and ending of Volume 2 is the blueprint for what would become the tone of the third movie. That one clip people frequently posted of him blasting Ego is a teaser for his worst action in Infinity War. It's genuinely heartbreaking to see his inner beast get the best of him and remember this would come at a higher degree. But enough of that. Peter Quill deserved a spotlight in this movie about dads, and he really made the most of it. What could possibly top this one?
Dance off, bro!
Guardians of the Galaxy nailed the debut of Star-Lord. As soon as he played Come and Get Your Love on his Walkman and danced in an abandoned temple, I knew I was in for a fun movie. Seeing him meet the other Guardians is very interesting. They have different goals and ideas that temporarily clash when they first meet, and it's nice to see them come together, especially when Quill didn't expect to make friends with these people and vice versa. His mixtape means so much to him that he stalls the other Guardians because he knows Gamora won't leave the kiln without the orb. He also doesn't open his mom's last gift to him for 26 years, reflecting how his childhood situation stunted him. His solutions to the predicaments he's in are typically unorthodox, but they prove to be strengths in the end. For example, he gets himself captured by Yondu, but he saves Gamora in the process. Plus, the bigger reward he gets out of it is an army to fight Ronin. His dance against the perplexed Ronin distracts the big turd Blossom. The fact that this tactic pays off shows he's as legendary as the rest of his friends. Based on Infinity War's events, it seemed reasonable to question if I was just remembering him wrong. I was not. The debut was stellar. I hope you got my quill message! And that's my ranking of the Guardians of the Galaxy movies based on how well they use Star-Lord. This, along with my songs ranking, was just the beginning. Stay tuned for my next character ranking video. And while you wait for that, I'm gonna review an undie-rated cinematic triumph you absolutely need to see.
Tra-la-la! Finally.